Welcome.
Do you call your cat by its name? Does it listen? Do you have a cat?
No. On that note, welcome to episode 182 of Watch and Complain, the show where we're like a book club for movies and television.
Are you just saying book club because it's going to get more people to like an algorithm?
I
You say the word book.
I want people to know what our show is like. We basically go into these things or watch them somehow and then review them
And then we read a
and
book.
spoil them. But we want you to enjoy the show, so you should go watch it first, then come back to our show.
Also, we've done, I believe this is our 604th episode.
182.
How people haven't put together what the show is like now.
But there's always going to be new people, right?
How have we been doing this?
Those thousands
You know what?
of
You
people
should
from
have taken the
TikTok.
comments from TikTok and we could have read them on here.
No.
Instead, you had to fucking delete
Can't
it.
do that. The Last of Us, episode 6.
I called this the most Canadian episode so far because right out of the gate, there's Graham Greene, and you're like, oh, okay, this is definitely being filmed in Alberta.
It is called Kin.
And then it is the woman is very obviously Canadian Indian, the wife, who Graham Greene's wife at the start of the episode. And when they're walking around outside, that is very obviously Alberta. When you're looking at it, you're like, this is great. This is the most Canadian. You can't, like, it is absolutely Canada when you're watching that.
Could be Alaska.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. But it had a Canada vibe.
We know it's...
Yeah,
it's-
and it just, I don't know, maybe, and it's probably not because I know it's Canada, but it's got a vibe. It feels like fucking Canada. It's like when you're watching the Lord of the Rings movies, and even though you've never been to New Zealand, when you're looking at certain parts of it, you're like, yeah, that looks like New Zealand. Or when they show a whole bunch of fucking like walls that are shot with guns and a bunch of people walking with guns, you're like, yeah, that's Detroit.
3 months after...
Hopefully
Ghost.
that cat killed itself.
It's a ghost.
Holy shit.
Now it's a ghost. 3 months after Henry and Sam's death, Joel and Ellie reach a small, thriving community in Jackson, Wyoming, where Joel is reunited with Tommy.
Woo!
We just completely glaze over the natives.
I feel like, well, at the start, yeah, because all they basically say is, hey, don't go there. Yeah. But I always try looking at the parts of this show and comparing them to the game, thinking what they are in the game. And
okay.
I feel like...
He hasn't played the game.
Yeah, I've never played the
Neither have
game. I feel like walking towards... When they're on beside Death River, Ellie calls it Death River or River of Death, whatever.
River of Death or Red.
I feel like that
Kinnigan.
is a part of the game where you've got to fire at zombies and kill zombies, and then you get run into those guys, the guys on horseback who take them to Zebra Town or whatever.
Yeah, that
the town
was
is called.
very...
But I feel like that's a cut scene, and then when you're in Zebra Town or whatever it's called, Freedomville. You've got to go around and meet people, talk to people, collect it. Like, that's a part of the game where it's just backstory.
Yeah, that makes sense. Tommy, reunited with Tommy, whose wife, Maria, is pregnant. Ellie learns about Sarah's fate from Maria. Joel combines Joel confides in Tommy about Ellie's
deficiency. She has AIDS.
Immunity and his own declining mental state. Joel asks Tommy to take Ellie to the Fireflies, as he is afraid he cannot keep her safe. Ellie overhears them and confronts Joel, who insists they will pay.
She will pay.
Wow.
That's right. Listen, bitch.
The
You want
Admiral's
to get to the
kicking
Fireflies? I will fuck you up.
Who insists they will part ways. In the morning, Joel changes his mind after remembering his daughter, and the two of them travel to Colorado on horseback.
To Cole Hauser's house.
They find the Fireflies have vacated their base, possibly relocating to a hospital in Utah.
Yep.
Joel and Ellie attempt to escape a group of raiders. Yeah, that makes sense.
At an Alberta university.
When one of them attacks Joel, Joel kills
That was cool.
Joel kills him, but is stabbed during the struggle. Joel and
But-
Ellie escape the others, but Joel soon collapses.
How come I'm not allowed to interrupt?
Because I'm just about done. Falls off their horse.
I guarantee that's something that you've said before.
Leaving Ellie.
Phil, I want to interrupt. I'm just about done.
Just about done. Just let me finish. Leaving Ellie unsure on how to proceed.
Try to say to my wife a lot. I'm like, will you shut up? I'm trying to pretend you're someone else so I can finish.
You've said that to me.
I'm trying to pretend you're my wife, and I'm trying to pretend my wife is Phil.
Yeah, it's a weird
But-
kink.
So when they're in the would-be hospital and they're walking around and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, that's a part of the video game. Or the school, sorry, that's part of the video game. Joel gets stabbed, and it was cool. The guy,
Fight the monkeys.
right? That comes out of nowhere.
It was so Jumanji.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I thought maybe that might become something.
Yeah.
Right, like maybe the monkeys are infected, and the it's showing that, hey, it applies to all beings, not just humans. No, monkeys are just there, and then they run away.
This is a game that probably had clickers in all these places, and the movie, the show is just like, we don't want to show clickers as often, or it'll get boring.
Yeah, that's a good point. And maybe they had clicker monkeys. Who knows? But I feel like there was, you could really feel where, okay, this is a part of the video game. But then it was cool. One thing I really did like about this episode is, and I keep on forgetting her name because I'm calling her Ellie. The girl who plays Ellie. Bella Ramsey, yeah. She is a wonderful actor. And I call Bella Ramsey an actor because one thing I learned was while filming this entire series, she wore a compression vest to keep her chest down, her developing chest down, or maybe developed chest down.
I just wear it so I don't show.
Oh, I love show my man boobs. It's part of my dad bod. But she is gender neutral. Yeah,
They?
and I think I'm not sure. I just really read that she is
They?
is gender neutral. I'm not sure if she's
So
a they.
isn't the safe approach to say they?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, you're right. But my point is, apparently she had great they had great conversations with Pedro Pascal, because his sister is transgender, and what I loved about it is this actor, is not shoving it down everyone's throat. They were quoted as saying, "It's my business. It's my business who I share it with."
Yeah.
And, my first job is kind of being an actor. That's what I do. So that doesn't need to overpower anything else. I live with it. I do it. It's my thing. I had wonderful conversations with the cast and crew.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And I was like, how awesome that this young person, and I consider him a young person because I'm 1,000 years old, has the insight and the wisdom and the decorum and the dignity to act that way. And then you get human scum, absolute pigs like Ezra Miller, that absolute fucking piece of human garbage that acts the way that he does. Because
we can't do that.
I'm going to call him he because I will not respect any part about him. I know you've got your issues with it, but he disgusts me as anything that could resemble a human being. And my point is that someone like Bella Ramsey could treat herself with such or their self with such dignity. And then there's someone like Ezra Miller, and I hope that Bella Ramsey gets all the accolades that they deserve, and Ezra Miller gets hit by a truck.
But that's like the difference is like me versus someone who just like manipulates a situation, right? There's gonna be bad apples no matter the type.
Right, so I don't have to respect those bad apples. I can treat them like
but
the
it's
shit
not
that
based,
they are.
But it's not. Yeah, you can treat them like shit and call them shit, but you should still respect the
Why?
Not them. Respect the fact that people want to be able to label themselves as what they need to be labeled as. I don't know, like, how do I say that properly without offending someone? Like, it's.
I understand what you mean. So it's not like I need you to, like, you know what I mean? I get what you mean. My point is, I disagree with someone that I think is not deserving of the dignity to be referred to as what they are, or sorry, what they choose to be. You know,
but then someone could say that's an example towards others as well.
Maybe.
And like, you shouldn't be able, not shouldn't be able to, but you should think twice about taking away someone's right for what to choose their pronoun
Maybe.
based off just their personality. It's not fair to others
I can.
because it could offend a lot of other people.
Yeah, it certainly could, but
That's
I
like
feel
saying
very
I
strongly
don't,
about
I don't
that.
think that person is black or whatever because I hate the way they act. It's
I
not
would
fair.
put it. I would put it in the same boat.
It's like you're
but-
attacking black people in that situation.
My opinion on how I can justify how I feel is, hey, you know what? Adolf Hitler was a renowned vegan. Okay. Other people are vegan. Oh Christ, his name was just on my tip of my tongue. But there are lots of vegans. Okay. Oh, Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith's a vegan. Jesus Christ. Adolf Hitler is probably the ultimate example of evil, right? He is the ultimate example of an absolutely evil, horrible human being.
So then why should veganism be brought into the situation when it has nothing to do with your argument?
That's my point exactly. So I wouldn't
But you're
say
using his pronoun against him.
I used him as an example. Maybe
I'm
veganism
saying
was
him, and I'm sorry.
my veganism maybe was a bad example. My point was I don't just because Kevin Smith is a vegan. When I say that Adolf Hitler was absolute slime of a human being, he was the worst thing to ever exist, and he was a vegan, that doesn't mean that I'm also calling Kevin Smith the absolute slime of the universe. That's only for Adolf Hitler, even though they both shared that trait.
But in your new example here, you're not saying, and I'm not respecting his veganism.
Oh yeah, okay, good point.
Like,
So I can see your
I
point,
keep telling you, it's
but I still
just
disagree.
about, yes, horrible human being, and I'm not defending that person. I am just saying, be careful what you're putting down because you're putting down a big amount of like that
Hatred towards
group.
people who don't share
Or
that
it can
gender identity.
seem like that.
Okay.
And that's,
Well, if anyone-
that's what we
If
worry
you
about.
know what, and I will say, if anyone does feel that way, this is absolutely for me. And I'm not going to say everybody else. For me,
Intent is a big deal.
it is a big and it's not a learning curve because it's not something I need to deal with on a regular basis, but it is something I am entirely willing to learn. And if someone can bring to me a valid argument that I can understand and agree with, then I absolutely might change my position on it. Until someone can bring me that argument that I can totally get behind, then no, I will continue to refer to Ezra Miller as human garbage and the pronouns that I want to refer to that person as.
And comment now.
And comment now. But I'm absolutely willing to hear and be educated by someone who is like, Rob, here's where you're getting it wrong. Absolutely. I'm never in my life going to be so fucking naive to think that I know everything. Years of marriage has taught me I don't.
And we're in a society that's changing.
Yeah, that's right.
And there's been a lot of change already. And we've gone from like calling people the FAG.
The F slur.
I already went there. But if I say the F word, people are gonna think fucker.
That's right. A gay slur.
Yeah, and then calling people the N word, and it's just like now it's like, oh no, we don't do that. We know that.
But it's also you've had logical explanations for why you shouldn't do that.
And I just gave you one.
Yeah, but yours are stupid.
Mine's not stupid. I just can't speak properly.
But no, my point is, like I've had, we have a friend of ours who's transsexual. Mm-hmm. I of course have friends who are gay, friends that are black.
You should bring it up to your transsexual friend. You just be like,
listen, bitch.
So since you're transsexual, I need to ask you a question.
No. But in like I've said to my friend, I won't give his name, but he's a gay friend of mine, and him and I constantly have conversations about gay and straight things and differences between the two of them.
Good.
And it's fascinating because I get to learn a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm absolutely willing to have the same conversation with someone who prefers gender pronouns they, them on why they feel like, hey, when you won't show Ezra Miller that respect from respecting his pronouns versus when you would to Bella Ramsey, here's where your error is. I am absolutely willing to hear that, but I think I've got to hear it for it to make sense in my brain. I've got to hear it from someone who, one, it's got to be an argument that I can understand. It's not going to be, you're stupid. Like, no, I'm not going to agree with that. Agree I'm stupid, but I'm not just going to someone finger pointing me as
Hopefully
bullshit.
you don't think I'm saying that.
You are saying that.
I've
all
never
the
said you're
fucking
stupid.
time.
Well, behind your back, but
on TikTok, and I follow that on TikTok.
oh shoot.
The point is, this episode was the most Canadian episode of the show so far.
And boring.
It
was
yeah,
good.
It wasn't boring. I feel
show's
this whole
awesome.
show is not building towards something, but it is just kind of a narrative, a linear narrative, like Saskatchewan that just keeps on going like this. They should have filmed it in Saskatchewan because we could say that it's fucking like Saskatchewan, just a long, solid, flat line.
It was a plot builder that needed to happen.
It wasn't massively exciting, but it was on the strength of its fucking actors. It was very good. I really enjoy watching Bella Ramsey. Really enjoy watching Pedro Pascal. They're great in these roles.
Even smaller characters like
Graham Greene was great. His brother Tommy the Terminator was great, and I call him Tommy the Terminator. If nobody knows, he plays the Terminator in Terminator: Dark Fate, which is why I call him Tommy the Terminator. His wife was great. Like everybody, it was just it's a really well acted show.
It was a good show. They're all good shows. Any parting words for this episode?
Idiot parting words.
Any
Phil's an idiot. Anybody? Okay.
This show's going off the rails.
All seriousness.
I can't speak.
Anyone? It's because you do
I took
crack cocaine.
I took 2 Motrin before I came.
Crack cocaine. Oh no! What's Kingston's famous for meth, and Canada's famous for fucking weed shops
For
everywhere.
homelessness.
Yeah, do a lot of. So I don't like smoking weed, but I love edibles. So do a lot of edibles. Edibles are good because
Edibles are the main thing right now. That and what's the category for shrooms?
I thought it was still just edibles, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's technically something else. It's like
Hallucinogens.
yeah, that kind of thing, and it's becoming more of a thing now. That and some other drug that is a hallucinogen, but it's becoming like not prescribed, but like a go-to medical treatment, kind of
for like anxiety, PTSD, stuff like that.
yeah, kind of like how marijuana first started becoming a medical thing.
Oh.
So I guarantee you, it's going to go that way soonish.
Cool. Marijuana is awesome. So
In the next 5
definitely try
years.
marijuana. Also, anybody legitimately, anyone, hopefully people are still watching. Whoever
Why?
would watch this, I don't know why you would. But anyone who identifies as they, them, or knows someone that identifies as they, them and has a valid argument, I would fucking love to hear it. So please put it in here. We should have them on. We should talk to them over the phone, over Skype. I don't care how. I would love to hear a valid argument. And we are sorry, very sorry that you're watching this episode of Watch and Complain.